Hazrat Musa A.S., known as Moses in biblical traditions, is one of the most significant prophets in Islam. His story spans from the depths of oppression to the heights of divine revelation, filled with trials, miracles, and lessons for all of humanity. A miraculous birth in the shadow of tyrant. Musa A.S. was born at a time of great fear and injustice. The Pharaoh of Egypt, a cruel and arrogant king, was alarmed by the growing number of Israelites living in his kingdom. A dream or prophecy had foretold that a boy from among them would one day rise and bring down his empire. In a bid to prevent this, Pharaoh ordered that every newborn male child among the Israelites be killed. The fear and suffering of the people grew, but Allah had a greater plan. When Musa A.S. was born, his mother feared for his life. Allah inspired her to nurse him for a short time and then place him in a basket, setting it afloat on the Nile River. Though her heart was breaking, she obeyed, trusting in Allah. The basket was carried by the river's current to the palace of Pharaoh, where his wife, A.S., found the baby. She was drawn to his innocence and beauty and pleaded with Pharaoh to keep him as her own son. Ironically, the man who had ordered the death of all Israelite boys ended up raising the very child who would one day challenge him. Musa A.S. grew up in the royal palace with access to luxury and education, yet he never forgot his origins or the pain of his people. As he grew into manhood, he became increasingly troubled by the mistreatment of the Israelites. One day, while walking through the city, he saw an Egyptian taskmaster beating an Israelite slave. In trying to defend the oppressed man, Musa A.S. struck the Egyptian, unintentionally killing him. Though the act was not premeditated, Musa A.S. feared the consequences and fled Egypt, heading toward the desert. After days of travel, Musa A.S. arrived in the land of Midian, tired and alone. There, he saw two women struggling to draw water for their flock. He helped them, expecting nothing in return. Their father, Prophet Shu'aib A.S., was impressed by Musa's character and offered him a home and later the hand of one of his daughters in marriage. Musa A.S. spent several years in Midian, working as a shepherd and living a peaceful life. But his destiny was greater. One day, while traveling with his family near Mount Sinai, he saw a strange light, what appeared to be a fire. As he approached it, he heard the voice of Allah calling him. It was a moment that changed everything. Allah chose Musa A.S. as a prophet and gave him a mission: return to Egypt, confront Pharaoh, and deliver the Israelites from bondage. Despite his fears, especially about his speech impediment, Allah reassured him and allowed his brother, Harun A.S., to be his helper and spokesman. The confrontation with Pharaoh. Armed with divine signs and the command of Allah, Musa A.S. returned to Egypt. He stood before Pharaoh and delivered the message: believe in one God, release the children of Israel, and end the oppression. Pharaoh, blinded by pride, laughed and mocked him. When Musa A.S. demonstrated miracles, his staff transforming into a serpent and his hand glowing white, Pharaoh accused him of sorcery and summoned his best magicians. In a public contest, Pharaoh's magicians threw their ropes, which appeared to turn into snakes. But when Musa A.S. cast down his staff, it turned into a real serpent that devoured theirs. The magicians, recognizing the truth, immediately bowed in submission to Allah, even as Pharaoh threatened them with death. Their faith marked a turning point, showing that even hearts close to falsehood could see the light of truth. The Exodus and the miracle of the Red Sea. Despite repeated signs, Pharaoh remained defiant. Allah sent calamity after calamity upon the Egyptians: blood in the rivers, locusts, lice, frogs, and darkness, but still, Pharaoh would not relent. Finally, Musa A.S. was commanded by Allah to lead the Israelites out of Egypt. In the dead of night, they escaped, but Pharaoh and his army pursued them. Trapped between the Red Sea and the soldiers, the people panicked. But Musa A.S. stood firm, saying, "Indeed, my Lord is with me, and he will guide me." At Allah's command, Musa A.S. struck the sea with his staff, and it miraculously parted, creating a path for them to cross. When Pharaoh and his army tried to follow, the sea closed over them, and they were drowned. Though the Israelites were now free, the journey was far from over. They wandered through the desert toward the promised land, but their hearts were not yet fully purified. They complained of hunger, longing for the food of Egypt. Allah provided them with manna and quail. They demanded water. Musa A.S. struck a rock, and 12 springs gushed forth. Yet their complaints continued. When Musa A.S. left them temporarily to receive the Torah on Mount Sinai, they fell into idolatry, worshipping a golden calf made by a man named Samiri. Musa A.S. returned, heartbroken and angry. He reprimanded his people and prayed for their forgiveness. Time and again, Musa A.S. displayed immense patience with his people, guiding them even when they faltered, always seeking Allah's mercy for them. A life of devotion and leadership. Hazrat Musa A.S. led his people for many years. He endured their stubbornness, taught them the commandments of Allah, and upheld justice and faith in every situation. Despite their many errors, he never gave up on them. His connection with Allah was so close that he spoke to him directly, earning him the title Kalamullah, the one who spoke with Allah. Toward the end of his life, Musa A.S. asked Allah to allow him to enter the Holy Land, but the time was not yet right. He passed away near its borders, having fulfilled his mission as a prophet, leader, and servant of Allah. The story of Hazrat Musa A.S. is told in great detail throughout the Quran. His courage, patience, and devotion serve as a model for all believers. He stood firm in the face of the world's greatest tyrant, delivered an oppressed people to freedom, and lived every moment in obedience to his Creator. His legacy continues to inspire millions, reminding us that with faith, perseverance, and trust in Allah, no challenge is too great.